Thank you so much. So sorry, first of all, not to be able to talk in Turkish. So I'm trying to do my best from Paris here in English. As you know, we have started AdsWizz in 2008 when the audio market was not there. So I had the privilege to start this market from, let's say, ground zero. And yeah, so today things have evolved, and this is what I would like to share with you. So first of all, we have the most advanced markets that have, like US market, UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, where we see, the digital audio becoming systematically part of the media mix. And we have what we call the new markets that I'm driving right now at AdsWizz, where we continue evangelization. It has started. So let's see what we have today on the agenda. So we wanted to share with you. I wanted to share with you some of the trends that I see everywhere. So it's good for you to know that, and I would like to show the most widely used ad formats that contributes for higher CPM and engagement to the audience. And I wanted to keep some time to start the conversation on the future, what we call the attribution, which is the proof that digital audio is working, if we can say that. So the first thing in terms of the industry trend is that there are 2 points I wanted to highlight. Okay, so what are the audio content to consider for monetization, which is 1 point, and have the digital audio buying habits change in most mature markets? What is the situation? So on the first point, Turkey might not have noticed it yet, but a lot is happening in the markets mentioned above. So basically, what happened before COVID and after COVID, right? So before COVID, almost everyone agreed that compared to display, which is the market everyone knows since 2000, everyone was saying that streaming audio inventory is probably not unlimited size, so, and therefore was thinking on how to increase the revenue from digital. But podcast came as a gift. So this is on every lips now. We can see podcast is increasing faster than the streaming audio, and it's increasing faster in every country. So my advice to, let's say, the publisher in Turkey, whatever you are, a broadcaster or a podcaster, if you believe in digital, you should probably anticipate the move that sooner or later will come to you. So I don't see why Turkey would be not experiencing the same as the other countries. Now, in terms of the second point, which is evangelization of the media agencies and advertisers the past 5 years, we have done a great job and it finally paid off. Okay, so what does it mean? It means more and more advertisers understood the power of audio. It means digital audio now belongs to the media mix. And advertiser can measure very strong outcome when digital audio is even combined with social media. Okay, and the good thing, the positive thing is that all digital audio contents are benefiting from this experience, and not only the music platforms, so not only Spotify, Deezer, etc. So that was the idea. So the message number one is traditional way to buy has changed, yes, but and to the profit of programmatic buying. Okay, so agencies continue to favor programmatic transactions. So we made a study recently, and decision makers told us that they will continue to use programmatic buying, you know, and even the ones that have not started yet will do so very soon, before the 12 months, so before the end of the next 12 months, okay? And the good news, because this is the subject of today, agencies are, you know, experiencing and experimenting across advertising creatives, format and engagement capabilities. So it's the biggest 2022 trend that we should have in mind, okay? And I encourage you to read the IAB Outlook 2022 survey on this. Basically, on our side, what we advise publisher, because again, if you have a format, you have to have the publisher proposing this format. So we asked the publisher to reimagine a little bit the ad format and experiences, okay, to educate the brands when possible in agencies and have work together. I know it's a work to do that, and protect the consumer experience on their platform, meaning the time where radio is bombarding you with ads should be over, right? You need to concentrate on the listener experience and not kill your audience. That's basically the message I would like to put across. So on AdsWizz, we are here to help. You know that we build this technology since more than 10 years now. And at the moment, we offer more attractive innovation regarding you know, the goal to shorten the path to conversion, which is one thing, improve the listener experience when it's possible, and of course, offer the best platform to control the whole advertising activities. So that's where we are, and I want to show you today some of the, you know, the format that are being used, and also under certain conditions. So the first one, really, that everyone is thinking about is why I should not simply talk to my ad. Okay, so that's the simplest way that everybody would like to see. So in the US, as you know, we belong to Pandora Media and SiriusXM. So Pandora Media started to propose innovative voice ads format to advertisers. You can read here that it's possible to build a fully tailored conversation between brand and audience, okay, based on context. And of course, the beauty of that is the audience remains engaged, okay? So without entering into, let's say, a very complex example here, the idea, what I want to say is this one.
Hey, this is AdsWizz, presenting our brand new voice ad format on mobile. Do you want to learn more?
Yeah, definitely.
Happy to hear that. Here's all you need to know about voice ads, the format that will help you connect to your audience with higher interaction and better results.
So yeah, that's the kind of relationship you can have with your audience. This format is made available to all of our customers, so the one using our platforms, and it can be also accessed via a public API. Okay, so of course, in the US, because we are always seeing, hey, is it working in the US, yes or no? So we want a mass market, right? And at the moment, the constraint is the publisher should install the SDK to make it run. Okay, so it means, and it also means the microphone should be enabled. Okay, so these are two conditions that, from our perspective, remains a test format. Okay, it doesn't mean we should not do it, because we have the possibility to run that in multiple countries right now, but it remains a constraint of the installation of the SDK, as I said, and microphone should be enabled. Okay, so this is why it's not mass market yet in the US from our point of view. Another interactive format that we want to show you is, and this one is really spread across the board, is the Shake Me ad. Okay, so basically, as you know, almost in certain countries, 90% of the audience is on mobile. And this interactive form has been designed to help listeners make an action. So audio message will be, of course, built from scratch. So there is absolutely no question to copy and paste what is already working on radio, for example. So it has to be a new message tailored to for a call to action. So we ask the listener to maybe sometime to prepare of an action, okay? But at the end, it's shake your phone, you have to do something. And it works very well to open a URL, to share an offer, so it could be a coupon, to go to a website or download an app. Okay, so this format works very well. And I wanted to tell you that. So we have an experience, very positive experience to share. So Nissan, the car industry was looking to improve brand awareness, which has one thing in Australia, and while increasing the actual test drive bookings of its fleets of cars. Okay, so they thought together with the agency, which was Omnicom, OMD, to use the Shake Me format. So they provide a more interactive experience and increase the ability to engage with users and enable them to easily book an appointment to test drive the car after hearing the audio. Okay, and in this particular example, when listeners shook their phone, they were immediately directed to a web page where they could be able to book the test drive. Okay. So this format is not only working for an example, okay, but it's constantly used by almost all the players in Australia and New Zealand right now. Okay, so it's a good news. And what we did at the very beginning when we introduced the format in the country, which could be the case for Turkey, for example, is to prepare the listener to perform an action, because most of the listeners are listening almost to the same content, so the most widely used content, and they should be prepared to shake their phone. So the ad itself was saying, hey, be prepared to shake your phone. Okay, so it was the idea. So listen to this example is really a good one.
Get into Nissan now for great drive-away deals on the powerful Nissan Navara, versatile X-Trail, and a stylish Qashqai. For a limited time only, get free auto on selected Nissan models. That's $2,500 worth of extra value. Visit your local Nissan dealer for a test drive today. Shake your phone now to view offers. Nissan, innovation that excites.
Yeah, so it sounds like a normal ad, but it's an ad that is being built to make an action, and I confirm it is working. Okay, so now in terms of digital audio, when we think about digital audio, we think that it's audio only, right? So it's exactly like on radio or music platform, etc. But this is without counting on the new format that we have built. Okay, so the one that we have built that is useful for a radio, simulcast, web radio, and podcast, okay, is the ability to, in fact, associate a display ad, a retargeted display ad, to the dispositive at a later stage. So what happens is that the listener is listening to a content on his mobile. The mobile is probably somewhere and he's doing something else. So he's not watching the phone, okay? So the good thing is to be able to retarget the listener with a display at a later stage, okay? So how does it work? It works like this. Okay, so you see, we are listening to an audio ad. We know this audio ad has been built properly, okay? So it means people will remember it, okay? And what we do with second screen is the ability to expand, in fact, your existing retargeting capabilities, okay, by retargeting the listener, not only on the same device, but also on multiple devices that he may have in the house. Okay, so this is 2 ways to retarget, and it's working pretty well. We have examples of that. So this is the ESPN example where the audio ad was a podcast itself. Okay, so we did what we call a dispositive called audio first, display second. Okay, where the listener was retargeted at a later stage, and the goal for ESPN was to first having more people subscribing to their offer at a cost per acquisition that is less. So this is something that they measured positively, say 72% lower CPA, where the goal was 50%. Okay, so it was a very good working experience. So I invite you to consider this format in Turkey, because this is available immediately, I would say. The second format that we sometimes forget to think of, and is very simple to implement, is to ask the publisher to create on their content the ability to have a companion ad. So it's an audio synchronized, if you want, with a companion banner. Okay, so it means the possibility to synchronize the display perfectly with the audio. Okay, and to add a link to a banner in order to discover a website or go to a landing page. Okay, so it's like a contextual placement, if you want. So that's working very well, and I encourage most of the publishers to think about setting this up, as it's very easy to do. Now, the lesson, the next one is the one that we have known many times on television. Okay, so this is the ability to tell a story. You know, in 30-second audio ad is very difficult, because 30 seconds is 30 seconds, right? It's very short. But if you think of putting your message in multiple times, you can do it. So what we provide here is the ability for the advertiser to place the message in multiple steps, and to normally finish with a call to action. Okay, so it's like a story. It could be you know, your brand season 1, season 2, season 3, right? So people are used to that, and storytelling. So it's working. So again, it's available immediately. Now, another format that I wanted to share with you today is the dynamic creative format. So imagine the ability to be able to place an ad that would be your ad. So not the ad of your neighbor, but your ad. Okay, depending on the various parameters. Okay, so you could imagine building a 30-second ad based on multiple smaller ads that are assembled together in real time on the fly. So this is what the technology is doing. So you have multiple parameters, time of day, live events, etc., and you can do that. Okay. So we had promoted, and by the way, we won an award with this format in Turkey. So it was before COVID. I don't know if some of you already did it or seen it, but it was, I think, OMD and Mercedes who did this. So I want to show you the example. We did a video, so it's better to explain.
As Mercedes-Benz, we're always on our way to offer our customers the best customer experience, anytime, anywhere. How could we more effectively communicate our newly launched Alaçatı pop-up store to consumers in line with our motto, "Passion knows no distance"? We achieved it by using a technique that had never been tried before. So what was the technique? We generated customized spots with a special setting using location-based programmatic radio, which had never been used in Turkey before. The radio spots were customized according to the listener's distance from the pop-up store and their musical preferences. Potential customers who were nearby were invited to visit the Alaçatı pop-up store to attend fun activities and take test drives. As consumers listening to our message were informed of their kilometer distance from the pop-up store, the background music of the spot switched to the genre of music they were listening to at that moment, and our banner ad displayed on their screens.
Mercedes-Benz Pop-Up Store Portola Çatı'da test sürüşü ve keyifli aktiviteler için seni bekliyor. 20 Haziran 2 Temmuz tarihleri arasında Pop-Up Store'a gel, tutkuyu sen de yaşa.
The number of people who listened to the entire spot increased to 88%, significantly higher than the sector average. The number of unique visitors who listened to our customized spots based on location and music preferences and were directed to the pop-up store was 2.36 times higher than those who listened to regular spots. This campaign allowed us not only to turn the standard radio spot format into a dynamic one, but also to provide consumers a Mercedes-Benz experience in their natural environment and in a style they loved.
So you see, what is important in this video is it was very early in the stage, but at the end you gather all the good ingredients for the future, and you will see what is coming after that we have tested manually here because it was a manual setup, but now we can do with artificial intelligence. We can probably automate all this with the technology we have right now. So that an important message for you is in Turkey, this format can be used immediately because it doesn't require any specific installation. It doesn't require SDK to be installed. It can use the whole size of your available inventory. Okay, so for buyers, this is a format at scale, I would say. So now we talked, if you remember, we talked about the podcast. So I said, hey, podcast is on every lips, podcast is coming, but this is the reality, okay? So now you need to understand that 82% of the survey publisher that we have asked, are telling us that they sell their podcast content via sponsorship and host-read. And host-read means this is the voice of someone we know, we trust, and traditional host-read advertising we know is very effective. So because this ad is native and feels like part of the content, there is a built-in trust factor, and you should know that as an advertiser. The method we know is very labor intensive if you want to scale it. Okay, this is why we are here to help the market achieve this goal. So what we do, it's of course we have asked podcasters, and 37% of them are they are telling us that they are putting host-read ads on top of their mind for an improvement, let's say. So by automating the process, advertisers can submit one script to hundreds of hosts at a time. Okay, and this is the beauty of what we are launching right now. Those hosts can then accept the script, record the script, and transmit for approval. You see, so it's a back and forth, like an RFP, if you want, or an RFI. The ads can even be running across a host network, what we call, giving advertisers more reach to the system. So at the end of the day, what we want is to imagine having more content to be sold at scale, okay, across multiple hosts. Okay, and it works across millions of listeners. So in the US, this is already running. We spread this feature, and I hope it will come soon also in Europe and other countries. And the beauty of it is that you imagine it can be used because you remember at the beginning I told you that programmatic habits was the direction. So of course, in addition to what I just said, enabling this feature is available programmatically with the facilities of targeting that you have in front of you right now. So what are the emerging technology? And when I say emerging, you will see that at the end, it was already done in the example, the Mercedes example that we just seen. So the first one is sympathonic ads, which is the ability to automatically, I would say, depending on what the listener is listening to, if we know the mood of the listener, etc., we are able to automatically build the music bed that will engage the listener better and will reduce the cost because it's made automatically. Okay, so we have done this in the US, so we have tested it. So imagine you have this kind of control message here.
I love music and fast internet. So when I found out Cox has the best in-home Wi-Fi experience, I was totally tuned in. If you love super fast speeds as much as I do, get Cox high-speed internet. It's perfect for music lovers and fast internet lovers. Click the banner to learn more.
Okay, so that's the message originally. But now imagine that the listener is listening to a certain type of music, certain mood, etc. You could automatically switch to this message without doing nothing.
I love music and fast internet. So when I found out Cox has the best in-home Wi-Fi experience, I was totally tuned in. If you love super fast speeds as much as I do, get Cox high-speed internet. It's perfect for music lovers and fast internet lovers. Click the banner to learn more.
Okay, so that's basically how it works. So this is what we did at the time manually with the Mercedes-Benz, for which we won in the world, but now the technology is there, you can do it automatically. Okay, so what also is possible is to get live event targeting, so to be able to target based a campaign and start a campaign based on events that are external events, okay? So which is something also that can be used. And I want to show you a very good example of that. So we did a campaign with Corona in New Zealand. So this is New Zealand Media Entertainment here and Mediacom. So basically the idea was for Corona to increase their relevancy score. So basically resonate better with their target audience. And what they did, they wanted to, so they asked us how to combine weather data, geolocation, demographic targeting, and to deliver real-time surf reports sponsored by Corona. Okay, so basically you can see that you were able to measure 20 points of interest, 4 parameters regarding wind speed, and wind speed comes in real time from an external database, the height of the wave, you see, and the wind directions, right? So potentially, listeners who were within a 15-kilometer radius of selected beaches, right, around New Zealand would hear the campaign containing the surf report about the beach nearest to them. See, so the surfing data was pulled through via an API, like I said. Okay, so that's how it is. It was working, and that was the result. Huh? So the result was a combination of dynamic creative. Okay, so the audio is built dynamically based on multiple files, and this is what I explained before, and capturing real-time data. So it's, imagine we have 750,000 reports delivered on 6,400 combinations, right? So and 95% of the ads were served to mobile because the surfers are on mobile. So reaching the consumer where they are on the move at the critical juncture of, and that's the message, you will hear the message in a second, where they were going, so where they are going with a message where, oh, this is where you'd rather be, because if you want to see the wave as that high, etc., that's the direction. So you're talking to your audience and to move, and if you want to enjoy more. Okay, so that's the good thing. So let's see the message. One example of an assembled message.
From where you'd rather be. It's today's surf report brought to you by Corona. For whangamata, southeasterly winds, blowing between 5 and 9 knots, with swells between 1 and 2 meters. And that's today's surf report, brought to you by Corona, from where you'd rather be.
From where you'd rather be, you see? So that's the idea. So it's a campaign that I can tell you has run now 2 years in a row, 5 times a year, so every 3 months. It's a $100K US dollar budget. So it's really working, I tell you. And it's also in production now, really. So it's not an exercise. Next, oops, sorry. Next is what we call the instant creative production. So this one is about, okay, I am anyone with a script, and I will ask my system to build an audio based on that. So it's based on speech to text engine, right? And you will be able to select your specific voice or kind avatar or whatever, you know, and it will create the ad. So for example, we had an ad to create for India. So, you know, it's not only English, it has to be English India, you know, and even it could be in certain language, it could be in Turkish, right? So that's the idea. So if you can save time by having the right ad, so imagine the butcher shop in your corner, and they say, hey, I want to advertise for this event, and I want this ad to be ready right now. Let's do it. They can do that, pay with a credit card, and load the ad on the network. Okay, so that's what we do in the US today. So these are the formats. So this is an overview of the format. I wanted to take 5 more minutes to explain, you know, the challenge of audio that we have seen since the beginning. Okay, so since the beginning, everyone is saying, hey, but does audio work? I heard the audio, but I have nothing to click on. What is the listener doing after that, etc. So this is high time to understand what is happening, right? And that's the story around this. So what we do now, we have interviewed marketers, and they said, hey, we want to see the effectiveness of my audio campaigns. I would like to see that and measure it, right? Exactly like I do with display at the end, okay? So listener can be, but you know, in display is different from audio. In audio, the listener can be listening on multiple devices throughout the day and while doing certain activities. You know, they don't always stop doing what they are doing to unlock their phones, to click, to learn more, to go to a website, etc. So this is absolutely the case. We know that. Okay, so most of the time they will listen to the audio. This is why we say, hey, please do the perfect audio for your goal. Okay, because audio will be remembered, but they will probably take an action at a later stage. And this is what is happening. So now we want to prove that this is what is happening and it is working. Okay. So what we do for that, we have introduced to the market what we call the pixel. So the pixel tracking, which is the ability to view and measure and optimize the campaign in real time. Okay, so with the audio attribution pixel, basically, which is exactly doing what it says, you will place a pixel on the destination site, and you will trigger an event when the listener is coming. So let's say I've heard the audio ad, and in 3 days I go to Google and go to the website because I remember where I should go, and I go to the page. I will be triggering the event that is placed on the web page, and this association will be made. So the attribution will be made at that time. Okay, so this is working very well. We've done a lot of campaigns on that. We have launched more than 1,500 campaigns now in US and Europe, for which we have done a study. So we have gathered information about 900 campaigns over 18 months. So it's quite good. And we have good results. Okay, so basically, out of the 900 campaigns, the attribution pixel was able to show 79%. So basically, 4 out of 5 campaigns lead consumer to purchase, which is good. Okay, the average conversion rate for all the campaign was 3.7%. Just for comparison, Facebook display campaign is around 4.4%. Okay, but on our side, what we see is that the belief in the technology. So what we see from the advertiser is that when they have started to use this, they continue because they see it's working. And it's working for audio streaming and podcasts. And by the way, when we talk about podcasts, we did a special study result for podcasts. And when we look at the pure podcast campaign, you see we have measured 72% of the campaign lead to purchase, which is very good, and 4.9 average conversion rate to conversion, which is even bigger than the average Facebook one. Okay, and again, 100% of the agencies saw the value and has chosen to continue making the investment. So I think when the report will be done, we will summarize it and send it to everyone. Okay, that's where we are. So that's what I wanted to share with you today, and I hope it was interesting. And I can, of course, answer more questions when you're ready.